Imagine standing at the base of a towering pyramid, its massive stones perfectly aligned, stretching toward the sky. These structures, found on nearly every continent, have fascinated us for centuries. From the iconic pyramids of Giza in Egypt to the step pyramids of Mesoamerica, the ziggurats of Mesopotamia, and even lesser-known structures in Asia and Africa, pyramids seem to be a universal human creation. But why? Why did ancient cultures, separated by vast oceans and thousands of years, all build pyramids? Let's dive into the reasons behind this global phenomenon, exploring the practical, cultural, and symbolic factors that made pyramids a go-to architectural choice. First, let's talk about the practicality of the pyramid shape. Picture yourself as an ancient builder with limited tools, maybe some copper chisels, ropes, and a whole lot of manpower. You want to build something big, something that lasts. The pyramid's wide base and narrowing top make it incredibly stable. Gravity is your friend here. The weight of the stones presses downward, keeping the structure grounded. Unlike a tall, narrow tower that might topple, a pyramid's shape distributes weight evenly. This is why, even thousands of years later, many pyramids still stand while other ancient structures have crumbled. The Egyptians figured this out early, building the Great Pyramid around 2600 BCE using over 2 million limestone blocks. In Mesoamerica, the Maya and Aztecs used the same principle for their step pyramids like Chichen Itza around 600 to 1200 CE. The shape wasn't just practical, it was a solution to the problem of building monumental structures with basic technology. Now, you might be wondering, did these cultures share knowledge? Did someone sail across the ocean spreading the pyramid blueprint? The evidence says no. Pyramids appeared independently in places like Egypt, Mesoamerica, Mesopotamia, and even China, where the mausoleum of the first Qin emperor, built around 210 BCE, features pyramid-like mounds. The timelines and locations are too far apart for direct contact. Instead, the pyramid shape likely emerged because it's a natural solution. Think about it. If you stack stones to create height, you instinctively start with a wide base and taper upward. It's almost like the pyramid is humanity's default setting for monumental architecture when you're working with stone and earth. Let's shift gears to the cultural side. Pyramids weren't just about engineering, they were deeply tied to belief systems. In ancient Egypt, pyramids were tombs for pharaohs designed to launch their souls into the afterlife. The shape might have symbolized a stairway to the heavens, aligning with the sun's rays. The pyramid texts, carved into the walls of pyramids from around 2400 BCE, describe the pharaoh's journey to join the gods. In Mesoamerica, pyramids had a different vibe. They were often platforms for temples like the Pyramid of the Sun at Teotihuacan, built around 200 CE. These structures were stages for rituals, sometimes including human sacrifice, to appease gods and ensure cosmic balance. The stepped design allowed priests to climb closer to the heavens, performing ceremonies under the open sky. In Mesopotamia, ziggurats like the one at Ur from around 2100 BCE served a similar purpose, connecting earth to the divine. Even in China, pyramid-like mounds were tied to imperial power, symbolizing the emperor's connection to the cosmos. But why the obsession with reaching the sky? Across these cultures, there's a common thread: the desire to bridge the human and the divine. Pyramids, with their upward thrust, physically and symbolically pointed toward the heavens. They were a way to communicate with gods, ancestors, or the cosmos itself. In Egypt, the pharaoh was seen as a living god, so his tomb needed to reflect that divine status. In Mesoamerica, the gods controlled rain, harvest, and life itself, so pyramids were built to honor and appease them. This spiritual drive wasn't unique to one culture, it's a human impulse. We've always looked to the stars, seeking meaning, and pyramids were a way to make that connection tangible. Another angle to consider is resources. Pyramids were often built in places with abundant stone or earth materials that lent themselves to massive construction. In Egypt, limestone and granite were plentiful along the Nile. In Mesoamerica, volcanic stone and limestone were easy to quarry. In Mesopotamia, where stone was scarce, builders used mud bricks to create ziggurats. The availability of materials shaped the style, but the pyramid form persisted because it worked. You didn't need advanced tech or rare materials, just a lot of labor and a smart design. And labor? Ancient societies had that in spades, often organized through religious or state systems. Building a pyramid was a communal effort, sometimes spanning generations, which also reinforced social cohesion. Let's not ignore the power angle. Pyramids were flexes of authority. A ruler who could mobilize thousands of workers to build a mountain of stone was sending a clear message: I'm in charge. In Egypt, the pharaoh's ability to construct something as massive as the Great Pyramid showed his divine mandate. In Mesoamerica, city-states like Tikal or Palenque used pyramids to outshine their rivals, signaling wealth and power. Even in Sudan, the Nubian pyramids of Meroe, built between 800 BCE and 350 CE, were statements of royal dominance. Pyramids weren't just buildings, they were propaganda, etched in stone for all to see. Now, you might be thinking, what about pyramids in less obvious places like Asia or Europe? They exist, though they're often less recognized. In China, the Han Dynasty tombs, like those in Xi'an from around 200 BCE, include pyramid-shaped mounds. In India, some ancient stupas, like those at Sanchi from 300 BCE, share the pyramid's tiered symbolic structure, though they're more rounded. Even in Europe, the Bosnian pyramids near Visoko, though controversial and possibly natural formations, have been tied to ancient human activity. These examples show that but the pyramid impulse wasn't limited to one region. It popped up wherever humans wanted to build big and meaningful. So why do pyramids exist on all continents? It's a mix of practicality, spirituality, and power. The shape is stable and buildable with basic tools. The symbolism reaching for the divine resonates across cultures. And the ability to construct these monuments showcased authority and united communities. While each pyramid reflects its unique culture, from the sleek limestone of Giza to the jungle-covered steps of Tikal, they all speak to a shared human drive to create something eternal, to touch the heavens, and to leave a mark on the earth. Next time you see a pyramid, whether in a photo or in person, think about the ingenuity, faith, and ambition it represents. A universal language spoken in stone.